what President Trump has done on the record in terms of acting to advantage a foreign power to help him in his own election, and the obstruction of information about that, the cover-up, makes what Nixon did look almost small. This is something we do with a heavy heart. This is very prayerful, because impeaching is a divisive thing in our country. It's hard. And the place that our country is now, it's not a time where you go to 70% when President Nixon walked out of the White House. It wasn't there before he left. Even 2 weeks before he left, it wasn't there until the other shoe fell and he walked out the door. And by the way, what President Trump has done on the record in terms of acting to advantage a foreign power to help him in his own election, and the obstruction of information about that, the cover-up, makes what Nixon did look almost small. But again, an inquiry is an inquiry, and people come in and you hear what they have to say. Next week, some of the Republican suggestions of witnesses will come in, and we'll hear what they have to say. But this is not something that you take lightly, and you make a decision as you go along. One last question. Yes, sir.
On the CR, it's going to come when you guys are passing, when these hearings are still going on. I'm curious, as you've been negotiating the continuing resolution, these spending bills, what's been the working relationship with the White House? I mean, have they been involved in this process? I guess the adage of walking and chewing gum at the same time comes to mind.
I'm not a gum chewer, but I do eat a lot of chocolate as I walk around here. Obviously, the president, the four branch, House, Senate, Democrats, Republicans, and the White House we all have to come to an agreement. And left to our own devices, the appropriators that come from the culture of appropriations and intelligence, that's where I was forged in the Congress, both places that, by and large, when I first started there, were not particularly partisan. But the left to their own devices, the appropriators know how to get their job done. So without going into any detail, we're moving in a direction because we do not want a shutdown of government. We prefer not to have a continuing resolution. So we have to make some decisions as we go forward.
The White House is going to sign off on it.
When you say the White House, you mean the administration?
President Trump's going to have to sign.
Well, the administration. Let's just say the administration. Okay?
Okay.
And whoever they may designate at the table. Cheryl?
Madam Speaker, given that Republicans have been arguing that yesterday's witnesses only heard things secondhand, I'm wondering if you think it would be worth waiting for those who have heard things firsthand, like John Bolton and Mick Mulvaney, to testify, and waiting for the courts to settle
don't
that.
fall into the secondhand stuff, really. That is such a fraudulent proposition put forth by the Republicans. That is such a fraudulent proposition. And and they know it, and that's why they're talking about process rather than the substance of what we have heard. I just won't even dignify what they're saying in that regard. I just won't.
Waiting for the courts to rule
No,
on.
we're not, but we are engaged in what the Constitution charges the Congress to do, to make its decisions.